I think priority one would be getting the heck out of Dodge. That's just me. Getting away from all those people as fast as possible. Everybody doing good?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you tell somebody if you're not for some reason. All you gotta do if somebody's passing by is just stop moving. Like, don't move. Chances are they won't see you.
So we're at Jason's class, Jason Salyer, on 3 survival dispatch along with JJ. Here's what? 12 of us?
We need to count right now for safety, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12. So there's 12 of us. And the scenario is you went on a short trip via airplane. You didn't check any bags. You just had your carry-on. You're on your way home. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. You hit that red eye. You've arrived back. Let's say you're arriving in Atlanta. You're in an Uber.
Cars have stopped on the highway.
Cars are stopped. Whoever's on the highway is stopped. Everybody's stopped. You notice there's no lights on in the distance. There's no street lights on. Everything's stopped. It's just everything. Time has stopped. You realize something's gone down. You need to get home. And you only got what you took with you to the airport. So, what do you do?
It's early on in the stages.
It's early. People hadn't freaked out quite yet.
Right. It's time to go.
But you don't want to be around when they do freak out and things start. So you're trying to get home. Obviously, a straight line's probably not always
The best
a
route.
good idea, nor the best route.
And our electronics don't work.
And our electronics don't work, so we can't use our phones. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens. 24 hours, starting right now. As they always say, all the newbies say, y'all don't go nowhere, and you go right directly into something else. They were throwing commercials or something. Y'all don't go nowhere. Right now we're traveling.
Simulation is we're on the highway.
Yep, you can see we're just,
Cruising down the highway.
cruising down the highway, trying to get home. So, obviously most of us here are into survival and prepping of some nature, right? So we will naturally carry some things on us that obviously would help in this situation.
Quick question for you. What are, as far as kit goes, what do you think maybe the 3 most important things in my kit are for this scenario?
Clothing and
water. Number 1 for me.
Yeah, water. Water I feel like is probably number 1.
Yep.
Okay, what would be the second one?
You need a barrier layer, man.
Yeah, protection from the elements.
It's all
Yeah,
thermal regulation.
some sort of shelter. Number 2 on my list is going to be this right here. A spare pair of socks. Comfortable shoes. You do not take care of your feet, you will be done. That is the end of you. You will stop moving, and then you are where you are, and hopefully that's in a good spot. What do you think number 3 is for longer distance movement?
And this
Multiple
is based
days.
on 24
Map,
hours.
compass. Where am I going?
Some sort of caloric.
Okay. Yeah.
Something to eat,
Calories,
energy.
yeah, that's what I would say. So I'm reasonably good at figuring out which way east and west and south and north is. I can kind of ballpark that. Navigation is super important, don't get me wrong, we're getting there. But number 3 on my list is going to be calories. Because if you're not replacing the electrolytes, the salts, the potassiums, the proteins, the fats, the carbohydrates in your body, you're going to bonk. Just like we talked about with the socks, your feet not working, you will be stuck again.
As for me, I've got
No knives, no guns.
none of us
No
has
saws.
any knives. We don't have any personal protective outside of swinging our backpack around or whatever to hit something.
Got a bungee device.
I've got my Wazoo belt on, which has some things in it, which does get through TSA.
Right.
So technically I do have a blade. I've got a little ceramic blade.
Scraper.
Scraper.
We
It's
have a
technically a
scraper.
scraper. I've got my Wazoo cash cap on.
And cash. It's always
Yeah.
important to have cash.
Yep.
Use cash.
We've got our wallets. Obviously, you'd be traveling with your wallet. A ferrocerium rod and a magnesium rod and a striker from Grim Survival in my cash cap.
Adventure kit in our belts.
Venture kit in our belts. I've got a grail. I always keep a grail,
Always have
a
a
bottle
grail.
with me and a grail. I've got a nesting cup that I keep with me.
Bandana's in my pocket. I got my baby wipes.
Bandana. Got some baby wipes, some wet
Extra
wipes.
socks.
A pair of extra socks, and I got an extra shirt.
Extra shirt. Extra underwear. I got a base layer too, level 1. I got a beanie as well.
I got a beanie. Keep a beanie with me. I'm going bald. My head gets cold.
Yeah, you don't want to shine a reflective surface to the
Yeah.
enemy. I've got a bivvy.
You got a bivvy?
Yeah, I always carry a bivvy.
And I've got a tarp.
got a tarp as well.
A camouflage tarp. that
Plus my poncho.
I'm addicted to the hammock game. So tarp, hammock, go together. I carry them together.
We did weigh our packs too as well.
So you had to be 35 or under, which should be easy to do.
24 by 16 by 10.
Yeah, is your typical carry-on
Yep.
dimensions. I'm sitting at about 20 pounds.
I'm at 16.8.
He's at 16.8. I think saw a couple guys at 10.
We weren't allowed to have water.
No water. We got to find and source our water.
Basically, if I was sensing that something was troublesome behind me, I would take off into the woods and I would make a big J and I would come back around and I would get behind cover and concealment. And then if whoever was following me kept going, no problem. But if they follow me in the direction that I went, then I know they're up to no good and I need to plan.
Kind of like when you drive around in your car and somebody's like, is this guy telling me? I want to make some detours. See if he follows and then act accordingly.
You guys want to hear this? That's very thick vegetation. I could tuck off 10 yards over there and no one would see me from here. James, go ahead and walk down towards the creek that way. And then when I tell you to, just freeze. Oh, you don't even need to. I can hardly see him.
Yeah, he's already disappeared pretty much.
And he's only not even 20 yards from us, probably.
Yeah.
So he's standing in the open, and I can see him because I saw him walk there. But if you were walking along, you'd have no clue. He's not wearing camouflage. He's just wearing like an earth tone kind of greenish shirt, right? You'd have no idea he's there. So if I was going to lay low for the night, that's a good spot to set up. Somewhere back there. And then you got your water supply. You can freshen up and take yourself a bird bath in there and then move on the next day. But if it's the middle of the day like it is now, I'd be getting water and then getting it. And the best place to carry water is where? But let's get water. Watch for snakes. Again, like first 24 hours, I don't think it's gonna be that necessary to like be super stealth mode and be that wary. Maybe, maybe not. But all you gotta do if somebody's passing by is just stop moving. Like, don't move. Chances are they won't see you.
Unless they're looking for you.
Unless they're really looking for you, yeah.
Even still, they probably.
Yeah, just stand still. That's it.
So we took us a little break, found us a water source. Everybody got hydrated and filled up any containers that they chose. I guess we're fixing to hit the road again.
Where is it? I filled up nearly a quart of water off of a grapevine before. Wow. So I find where it goes into the ground, which is probably over there somewhere. You cut it close to the ground and nothing happens. It doesn't happen until you cut it high. So think of it like a straw. So if I'm holding a straw at a restaurant, I put my finger over the straw and I can pull the water out and it doesn't come out until I release my finger. I release that pressure and then the water can come out. Same deal. So if I cut that grapevine way over there near the ground and then I position it over top of my water ball and then I cut it high, the water will start coming out. And it's nice, fresh, clean water. It tastes kind of nice. It's got a hint of grape in it. Yeah, it's nice and clean and filtered and fresh.
You can cut them off and just drink them.
You can.
Right out, too.
Yeah. And the big ones, you don't even have to cut them all the way through. You can just hack into them a little bit, and they'll do the same thing.
Those are real big.
Just make sure it's not poison ivy vine.
Yeah, that's a good one. So this is not poison ivy vine. That's a grapevine. You can usually tell by looking at the bark on them. They've got kind of a shaggy bark. A poison ivy vine will cling to a tree. It adheres to a tree, and it has like hairs on it, fuzzy hairs. Very important to not confuse the two.
A hairy vine is a scary vine.
Yeah. If it's got hair on the vine, don't mess with
Don't
it.
touch that.
Freaking Gandalf, man.
Yeah, old Gandalf got him a stick right there. Oh. All right, on the road again. Feet got a little wet.
How we doing, guys?
Good. Getting a little sweat going.
Yeah.
A little sweat going. So I don't know, we're probably 2 miles in.
A little over 2, yeah.
A little over 2. So yeah, it definitely puts into perspective, like, everybody's like, this is my bug out bag, this is my this or that, and
It only
they got
weighs
a
65 pounds.
they got a 70-pound pack.
Good luck.
I got a 22-pound pack right now. I'm sweating like a pig.
Yeah. You already
You
feel
know,
it, right?
I'm already feeling it. Got up and down some hills. Like, can you really carry all that?
You can. You always have to kind of anticipate where you're going to be spending the night. There's no perfect camp spot. Don't pass up a good spot anticipating there's going to be a better one down the road somewhere. Chances are there won't be. It's going to be worse. Take advantage of your spots and be kind of looking out. If it was starting to get dark, and I needed to rest up for the evening, start looking for your spot.
So yeah, it's actually good advice. Find a good spot to hunker down. Might as well go on and hunker down. The time is right during the day when you want to do it, because you just might not find another good spot.
The thing people don't realize is that is what you're doing. As you're on your way, you've got to rest. Find the best place to rest so you can recharge, rebuild, and repair your body take off again.
Yeah. Unless you're doing the Mammoth Sniper Challenge, and they really don't care.
That's different.
It's different. Oh, that sucked. It's a fun suck, but it sucked.
We're talking real world right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going at a pace I want to go. I'm not forced to a 14, 15-minute mile.
An emergency on someone else's part does not constitute one on yours.
Right. More good advice.
Now, this is a pretty solid spot. So if I was walking along this road and that house can't see me, that house can't see me, nothing over there can see me. This is a pretty sneaky spot. So I'd be like, all right, cool. And I would just duck off into here. And because of the thickness of the vegetation, I wouldn't have to go more than 20 yards that way. And there's no way you'd see me. No possible way. Even if you were looking for me, you wouldn't see me 20 yards into the thicket of that.
That didn't work. Trying to film and go through a freaking thing at the same time. Y'all don't go nowhere.
This would not be where I'd pick, but for demonstration purposes, this wouldn't be a bad spot if there was more vegetation between me and the road. But if I got down here nice and low, it'd be really difficult for someone to see me just because of the terrain feature that I'm in. When we pick out our camp spots, you still got to be careful for widowmakers. You still want to stay off of game trails. You still want to not be camping on an anthill. But this wouldn't be a terrible spot. But again, I'd want more vegetation between me and the road so I could be a little bit more discreet. Again, this might be private property. All right, we don't know who lives here. We just need a place to sleep for the night. Here's the goal. You need to be able to see this road. You need to be able to see me as I walk down this road, but I need to not be able to see you. That's the challenge.
I don't want to be on the ground if I don't have to be. I know for me and JJ, we like hammocks. We carry hammocks with us everywhere we go.
Everywhere. You got a bad back or an injury?
Yeah. And if you've ever really figured out the hammock game, you've realized, yeah, this is pretty good. And I don't know about you, JJ, but when I'm traveling, if there's any downtime and I can find two things I can hook to, I'm slinging up my hammock and I'm chilling for a little while.
By God. Not to mention things like snakes, the creepy crawlies,
Yeah.
ants, chiggers, ticks, whatever
Right.
on the ground. We should talk about this too, because that is a permissive environment
Correct.
thing, right? So
Right.
the default is to go to the ground
Yes.
in a non.
I need to not be able to see you. That's the challenge.
JJ and I have got our hammocks. He is right there. So you can't see JJ at all. He's got his hammock there and I've got mine over here. But what we did, instead of being parallel with the road with our shelter, we are perpendicular to it because we're hanging from trees. We're not low to the ground. So to keep that vantage point straight, and it'd be harder to see from the road. So, spin this around. Obviously it's gonna be hard to see with the camera, but
You can't see it with your eye.
there's no way. Because you got the trunk of the tree blocking it,
Yep.
one. And two, it's in line with another tree directly away from it, and you're hidden.
You can do it with a hammock.
You can do it with a hammock. So yeah.
Living like a pimp.
Yeah.
So here we go. I think I see a straight line of a poncho. If it's a straight line, it's not an irregular shape, right? It's going to be easier for our eyes to catch it.
here.
So it's a trade-off. Like I said, if you left it floppy and loose, it's not that great of a shelter.
Yep.
If you make it tight, it's a better shelter, but it's easier to identify. So I'm pretty sure I see it.
Horizontal lines stick out in
Yeah.
the woods because everything's so vertical.
Yeah.
That's
there
like,
there are straight vertical lines.
yeah,
There's not a lot of straight.
right. Because like even like as
What's
a
that?
deer hunter, like
Oh.
when I'm looking through the woods, I'm looking for horizontals. You know what I mean? Like the line of their back or whatever. So anything horizontal can stick out. All right, so back at base camp, I didn't film it because I had to concentrate. You can tell I'm
Like you said, that for me,
winded and sweaty. Just did a 4-mile ruck as fast as we could. So right at an hour, just under an hour for a couple of the guys. Now we're rehydrating, taking a little break, and get on to the next thing, letting the feet breathe. Then we're going to do whatever Jason says to do next.
As long as it's not running another 4 miles.
As long as it's not another ruck, because I'm done with that.
That's tomorrow, right?
Overall, so far, having a blast.
I just thought about that.
Short term, okay? Let's say 1, maybe 2 days. You got no way to purify your water, right? You got to move. Should I drink this and risk it, get sick? I only got a couple days. I could maybe make it before I start crap in my pants. Maybe not. So
If you cannot get to the doctor or the hospital, take a cycle of whatever antibiotics you have.
yeah, literally. Water is so important. We should have at least a couple ways to make it safe to drink. I like the Grail. That's just me. I like water purification tablets that I keep in my belt. I have enough tablets in my belt to treat 2.5 gallons of water, which is enough, in my experience, to get me a long ways down the road.
Well, here's the caveat to that. It takes 4 hours for those tablets to kill cryptosporidium. So if that is a concern, you have to wait 4 hours.
Definitely.
It's 45 minutes,
I've definitely
except
cheated.
for
Yeah,
cryptosporidium.
I've definitely cheated the
I have too.
quite a bit and drank it
I
fast.
never got sick.
It never got sick. But in a spot like this, I would dig my way that direction into the hill, like parallel to the ground there, level with the ground, and then I would dig my way down. And what that does is it creates a chimney. So I would connect this hole to this hole, and I'd have about a foot of space in between it, and it creates a chimney so the fire can draft. And it's able to breathe, and the more it can breathe, the less it's going to smoke. I want you to get me a fire going. I want you to make it as super sneaky and stealthy as you possibly can.
All right, so I got me some somewhat dry sticks. I got some smalls and mids here, and at the moment I found some fat lighter, and I've got my little ceramic blade that was in my belt from Wazoo. I'm scraping some fat lighter, and yes, I got a lighter. You can take a lighter on the plane, and I'm gonna add a little duct tape for good measure. So duct tape will actually burn a lot longer than you think it will. Letting it do its thing here. Still got a lot of duct tape left that hasn't burned yet, so it's a good way to get one going. Slowly feed it more fuel.
Yeah,
It's an incognito fire. It's about 1,700 BTUs. We're good. Yeah, buddy. So the goal here is to be a stealthy fire. So I got one just big enough for a container to sit on, and plenty hot to boil water, and a little bit of smoke. So it should be good. Because I got a real good bed of coals from putting those sticks on the ground first. If you got a good bed of coals, and you can get some oxygen to them, they'll boil water. That's a little water boiler right there. Little water boiler. What do you think, JJ?
I think it's gonna work, baby.
Little water boiler?
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Hold on a second.
Oh, ooh.
Yes.
You got some more water boiler material.
Oh, man.
All right. Passed the grade from Jason, so snuffed it out. Let's see what other people got going on.
Mission success, and you can't
You got
see
him
from
like
the
a little
road.
stove system there. You got your little stove there?
Well, I didn't even put my alcohol stove in it.
Yeah.
Jesus, this is gonna be.
Oh, so that's like the windbreaker.
Yeah, that's just the
Yeah.
what you call it, the duct work,
Yeah.
heating and air duct work. Good
Yeah.
God, it's boiling good.
That'll do. That'll do.
She bubbling.
Oh yeah, she's bowling. She's a bowling. Might be the sheriff's house.
Yeah, so I look at this, I'm like, okay, it's an old house. Clearly somebody kind of maintains the place. There's stuff stacked up and things, and it's not just like completely overgrown with kudzu, right? So now let's say it was bucketing down rain or snowing or whatever, you know, weather was absolutely horrible. That would be real tempting to just tuck into an abandoned place. But for me, if I've got what I need in my pack, for example, I'm gonna dodge it. Like, I'm not going in there, I'm nothing.
I really recommend, if you want to do something like this, to follow Jason and pay attention to when he's got things going on as far as training, because it's really good. Now we're setting up camp. JJ's over here staring at me. He's got his hammock set up right there. Got mine. I got mine set up right here. Sheriff's getting his set up over there. Gabe's over there setting up his shelter. Can I see anybody else? We're all spread out through these woods. See you in the morning.
In the hot tub.
In the hot tub.
Feel the fires.
All right, y'all. Almost 11 o'clock. So get hunkered down in here. Hopefully get a good night's rest, and maybe Jason doesn't come out here tonight and wake us up, make us pack up and start rucking again. Good night, y'all. Love you, man. See you tomorrow.
Tree and hit you in the face.
That would be good. Gosh.
Oh, he's got the steel shot too.
Yeah.
Now, and now if you could zing that orange marker on the tree over there, that would be amazing.
Where?
I'd give you $100 if
Oh.
you hit that.
Really?
Oh, he's going kneeling. Good tactic. Oh!
All right, so if you have to default to the ground, were you prepared to do that? Did you have like a trash bag, some kind of barrier device
Okay,
to be
yeah.
off the
I
ground?
had two. Most all my packs, I keep two of the black thick trash bags in the 50 gallons, 48 gallons, or whatever it is. I always keep those.